87 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might upset you. Everything you think you know about love and marriage is completely wrong. They told you marriage is about the big moments, the wedding day, the anniversaries, the vacations. They lied to you, and I believed those lies for 60 years. At age 80, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew about love. What I discovered in these last 7 years has completely changed how I see relationships, time, and what it means to truly love someone. I'm making this because I'm running out of time, and there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 80, I had everything a man could want. I had been married for 57 years to the same woman. We owned our home outright. Had 2 successful kids, 4 grandchildren. I had a decent pension from 40 years at the insurance company. Retired at 65 with full benefits, traveled some, had the respect of my community, went to church every Sunday. People looked at us and saw the perfect marriage. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the house, the family, the long marriage everyone envies. People would say, 57 years together? That's incredible. You two are so lucky. And I'd smile and nod. I thought we were lucky too. I was sitting in the front pew at St. Michael's Church, staring at my wife's casket. The pneumonia took her fast. 10 days from diagnosis to gone. The priest was saying something about her kindness, her faith, her dedication to family. My daughter was crying on my left. My son was staring straight ahead on my right, jaw clenched. And then my granddaughter Emma stood up to speak. She was 19. Her voice was shaking. She talked about how Grandma always made time for her, how Grandma would listen for hours about her problems, how Grandma never checked her phone during their conversations, how Grandma remembered every little detail she mentioned and would follow up weeks later. Then Emma said something that stopped my heart. Grandma taught me what it means to be present with someone. She taught me that love isn't about grand gestures. It's about showing up fully in the small moments. And I felt my chest tighten, because sitting there looking at that casket, I realized something terrifying. I couldn't remember the last time I was fully present with my wife, not distracted by the TV, not thinking about something else, not half listening while reading the paper. Actually present, actually there. I had 57 years with her, and I couldn't remember truly being there for most of it. My wife died, and I realized I had been living our entire marriage on autopilot. I wasn't really with her. I was just in the same room. Let me tell you the biggest lie you're probably telling yourself right now. I have time to appreciate the people I love. You tell yourself variations of this lie every single day. I'll be more present when work calms down. I'll put my phone away when this project is done. I'll really listen when things are less stressful. I'll appreciate them more when I'm not so tired. We have plenty of time to reconnect. I'll be more affectionate when I'm in a better mood. Let me save you decades of regret with one simple truth. That day never comes. You know why? Because life doesn't calm down. Work never finishes. Stress never disappears completely. You're never going to magically become less tired. The goalposts keep moving. You're always waiting for the right moment to fully appreciate the person sitting next to you. And before you know it, you're 87 years old, staring at a casket, realizing you spent 57 years next to someone without ever really seeing them. You're climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. You think you're building a life together, but you're really just existing in parallel. Same house, same bed, same routine, but miles apart. And you can't climb back down and start over. Time doesn't work that way. I had a friend named Robert who died 12 years ago at 74. He worked as an accountant for 45 years, made good money, provided well for his family. His wife Martha was a saint, raised their 3 kids, kept a beautiful home, always had dinner ready. Robert worked 60-hour weeks during tax season, brought work home on weekends. He kept saying he'd slow down after the next busy season, after he made partner, after he could afford to cut back. He had a massive heart attack at his desk on a Tuesday afternoon, died before the ambulance arrived. At his funeral, Martha stood up and said something I'll never forget. Robert was a good provider. He gave us financial security, but I would trade every dollar for one more conversation where he actually heard me, one more dinner where he wasn't thinking about work, one more night where he held my hand and was actually present. Is that the legacy you want? To be remembered as someone who was physically there but emotionally absent? Your regrets won't be about the things you did wrong. They'll be about the things you didn't do at all. My father died when I was 52. Heart attack at 76. We had what I'd call a fine relationship. Nothing terrible, nothing special. We talked on the phone every few weeks, saw each other on holidays, surface level stuff. How's work? How's the weather? How's your health? I kept thinking we'd have deeper conversations when I had more time, when things settled down, when it felt less awkward to get real. He died on a Thursday morning. I got the call at work. And you know my biggest regret? It's not the big things. It's all the Sundays I didn't call because I was too busy watching the game. All the times I cut conversations short because I had somewhere to be. All the questions I never asked about his life, his dreams, his regrets. We never got that chance. There won't always be more. I don't lie awake at night thinking about my career. That doesn't matter anymore. You know what keeps me up? The trip to Alaska that Margaret always wanted to take, but I kept saying we'd go next year. We never went. The way I'd read the newspaper at breakfast while she tried to tell me about her day ahead every single morning for decades. The dancing she loved that I always refused because I was too tired or not in the mood. She stopped asking after our 40th anniversary. The conversations we never had because I was half watching TV, giving her responses while she poured her heart out. The way I'd kiss her cheek absently in the morning, already thinking about my day, never really looking at her. These things eat at you. The missed opportunities, the million tiny moments I dismissed as unimportant, the love I didn't express because I thought there'd always be tomorrow, the presents I never gave because I thought showing up physically was enough. After Margaret died, I made changes, not because I thought it would bring her back, but because I finally understood what I'd lost. I started actually listening when people talked to me. I put my phone in another room. I look people in the eyes. I ask real questions and wait for real answers. I started saying yes to things I always avoided. I went dancing with my daughter. I learned to bake with my grandson. I joined a book club and actually engaged with people. In these last 7 years, I've learned more about connection than I did in the previous 80 years. What matters is embarrassingly simple. Being fully present, putting down the distractions, looking someone in the eyes when they talk, asking how they really are and actually listening to the answer, touching someone's hand and meaning it, saying I love you and feeling it, not just saying it out of habit. I know it sounds simple. When I was your age, I would have rolled my eyes. Sure, but I have work to do. I have responsibilities. I can't just drop everything to stare into my spouse's eyes. And yes, you do have responsibilities. I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying abandon your obligations. I'm saying don't sacrifice presence for productivity. There's a difference between being busy and being absent, between having a full life and hiding behind busyness, between partnership and just sharing space. You don't need to quit your job. You need to look up from your phone when your partner talks. You need to have one meal a day where you're fully present. You need to ask real questions and care about the answers. You need to touch your partner like they matter, not like it's a reflex. You need to create moments of actual connection in the middle of ordinary days. The truth is, most of your life is ordinary days. If you're waiting for special occasions to be present, you're missing your entire life. Here's what I wish someone had told me at your age. Every single ordinary moment with someone you love is precious. That boring Tuesday night dinner, that conversation about nothing important, that moment when they tell you about their day and you're tempted to half listen while scrolling your phone, that moment matters. Because one day, you'll be sitting where I'm sitting, and you'll realize those boring Tuesday nights were everything. Those unimportant conversations were your life. Those moments you dismissed were the whole point. Margaret and I had 57 years together. You know how many of those years I was actually present? Maybe 5, maybe. I was physically there for 57 years, but I was actually with her, really with her, for a tiny fraction of our marriage. What a waste. What a devastating waste. If you died tomorrow, would the people you love say you were present with them? Or would they say you were distracted? Busy? Always thinking about something else? Physically there, but emotionally absent? Be honest with yourself. When's the last time you had a real conversation with your spouse? Not logistics, not planning, not did you pay the electric bill? I mean, a real conversation about dreams, fears, feelings, life. When's the last time you looked at your partner, really looked at them, and felt grateful they exist? When's the last time you touched them with intention, not habit? When's the last time you listened, fully listened, to what they were saying without planning your response or thinking about your to-do list? If you can't remember, you're living the way I lived, and you're going to end up where I am, full of regret you can't fix. Start now, not later. Now. Put down whatever you're doing after this video. Find the person you love, look at them, really look at them, tell them something real, ask them something real, be there, fully there. No phone, no TV, no distractions, just you and them. Do this today and tomorrow and the day after. Make it a practice. Make it who you are. Because I promise you, the day will come when you can't do it anymore. And you'll wish, God, you'll wish, you'd spent less time being busy and more time being present. Every morning I wake up and feel the empty side of the bed. And I think about all the mornings I woke up next to her and didn't reach over to hold her hand, didn't kiss her properly, didn't say good morning like I meant it. I just got up and started my day, taking her presence for granted. I had 2,805 mornings with her. I was really present for maybe 100 of them. Don't do what I did. Don't waste your mornings, your dinners, your ordinary moments. Don't let your person become wallpaper in your life. Don't assume they'll always be there. I'm 87 years old. If I'm lucky, maybe 5 more years. Maybe 10 if I'm blessed. Probably less. And I'm okay with that. Because these last 7 years, I've been more present than the previous 80. I've had real conversations with my kids. I've played with my grandchildren without checking my watch. I've made real friends who I actually know, not just nod at. I've learned to be here now, in the moment I'm in. I'm happier now at 87 alone than I was at 80, married for 57 years. That's the irony. When you understand time is limited, you stop wasting it. You stop postponing presence. You stop making excuses. You stop being distracted. You start showing up. You start being there. You start appreciating every ordinary moment. You say no to unnecessary distractions. You say yes to real connection. You create the memories while you still can. You love people while they're here. You have a choice right now, today. Keep living the way you're living, distracted, busy, assuming there's always more time, taking the people you love for granted. Or wake up. Realize time is running out faster than you think, and the person next to you won't be there forever. The life you're waiting to live, the connection you're postponing, needs to start now. I can't make this choice for you, but I can tell you, you don't want to be 87, looking back, wishing you had been more present, wishing you had really seen the person you loved, wishing you could go back and just pay attention. Don't waste 80 years figuring this out. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from my regret. Live intentionally. Be present with the people you love. Stop waiting for someday. Someday is today. It always has been. If this resonates, share this video, leave a comment, tell me what you're going to do differently. Subscribe, because I have more truths to share and not much time left. The clock is ticking. What are you going to do with your time